Okay, one of the major tests of a mayor, as far as how good or bad of a mayor they are, is how do they handle a blizzard. And we could say, oh, the street's clear, the street is clean. That wasn't because the mayor sent sanitation to do this. I didn't see one sanitation plow truck out there. That was this little truck right here. This little 20-some-odd-year-old Dakota out here. That did all this plowing. You know, since we're the only kid on the block with a plow truck, we figured we'd do the neighborly thing and clear the roadways for the neighbors, because we're all in the same type of industry. We don't compete with one another. Like, for example, we don't have an alignment machine, but this place across the street does. There's a place across the street that doesn't have an inspection machine, and we do, so they send their customers to us. So little things like that, whatever one neighbor could do for the other, we do. And that's why this street is clear. And nothing to do with the mayor sending sanitation out. A lot of people don't know this, but the blizzard of 96 was worse than the blizzard of 93. And people didn't take notice of it because in 93, David Dinkins was mayor. In 96, Rudy Giuliani was mayor. And he was on top of the damn blizzard of 96. So, blizzard of 96 seemed like nothing, but we really got hit harder. Whereas in 93, you still saw piles of snow in late April in various neglected neighborhoods, like Borough Park, for example. Big piles of gray, dirty snow in late April. Well, David Dinkins wasn't a great mayor. And thus far, this Mamdani, he failed the blizzard test. Mamdani failed the blizzard test. Can I get an amen?
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk a doubter, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Hi, I'm MC Too Tall. You're watching the MC Too Tall show, and my real name is John A. Krantz. And figured I'd let you know that so that you know my real name. You can look me up, find me on Facebook. You can find me on X, Instagram. But I use the name John A. Krantz on Facebook. But I also have an MC Too Tall Facebook page. And so you can find me pretty much all across the interwebs, as George Bush would have said, by typing in MC Too Tall. I'm the master of sound quality. People like my music, and of course, as you could tell, I'm hardcore, fierce, and sexy. Now, this is a video against Zohran Mamdani. Against Zohran Mamdani. I am not in support of Zohran Mamdani. And there are people who go out of their way to support him because he's rumored to be an anti-Semite. I don't give a shit whether he's an anti-Semite or not. He's a naive, stupid kid with no guardrails. And this city is just going to be a free-for-all and just nosedive into God knows what kind of trash the future holds for the city of New York. And he failed. He failed the blizzard test. He hasn't gotten a real test on law enforcement. And two things that mayors get tested on is law enforcement and in the event of a weather emergency or a blackout or something like that. So, a crisis and law enforcement. Well, I wouldn't consider a blizzard a crisis, but it can be if you're a bad mayor and you drop the ball. And as I mentioned in the opening clip there, mayors are tested when there's a blizzard. Giuliani passed, Dinkins failed. Koch passed, but only because he handled blizzards better than recent prior mayors. And, well, we didn't get hit with a heavy enough storm for de Blasio to pass or fail on that. But de Blasio definitely failed on law enforcement. He definitely failed when there was riots in New York City over someone who died all the way in the Midwest United States. And I'm not dancing on the grave of George Floyd, but nobody in New York had any business rioting over him dying. Who's going to riot in Minneapolis when I die? When some liberal takes it upon himself to drive a stake through me in the public square like I'm some kind of fucking vampire, with a whole crowd around that person cheering. You know, when some idiot fucking dude in a blue dress and a nose ring, a multicolored hair, drives a stake through me. Who's gonna riot for me in Minneapolis? Who's gonna riot for me in Houston? Who's gonna riot for me in Chicago, LA, Detroit? You know, I'm not dancing on the guy's grave, but what the hell are we rioting in New York over that? People shouldn't have rioted in Atlanta over Rodney King, but people rioted in Atlanta because of Rodney King. But anyway, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this incompetent fool, Zohran Mamdani, who people actually love or hate because they think he's an anti-Semite. You know, people who hate him because they think he's an anti-Semite are over-exaggerating. People who actually like him because they think he's an anti-Semite are freaking fools that think that anything that practices Judaism is the enemy. And I explained this before. You have people that hide behind that. You have people that hide behind that because it's easy to call people an anti-Semite out of nowhere if you pretend you're Jewish while doing your Illuminati shit. Okay? It's not, the Illuminati is not subservient to the Jews. There are members of the Illuminati that claim they're Jewish so that they have a shield to throw up and say, you're just picking on me because I'm Jewish, when they're caught out there doing their Illuminati shit. You know, just like Al Sharpton is down with the Illuminati, and he's a freaking federal agent, and he does his Illuminati shit and his grift and gets caught out there, and he says, you're just picking on me because I am a black man, or you're picking on me because I'm a black activist, or whatever. Bobblehead. I liked him better when he was a fatso. Now he just looks frail for no reason. But yeah, Mamdani, I don't think he's an anti-Semite. I think he says a lot of things for shock value, because he's a dumb, stupid kid that says things for shock value, and that's what people in his age group do. People in their early 30s. Hell, I was saying things for shock value in my late 30s. And it was pretty fun. And so he's doing that. See me, I was making conscious rap music that coincidentally was getting me laid. I was out there being a better artist than Zohran Mamdani was when he had a so-called music career. So it was okay for me to say things for shock value. And that's the way that goes. But neither here nor there, whether he's anti-Semite or not, he failed the Blizzard test. And he's a frickin' loser because of it. I will always go against Zohran Mamdani. Zohran Mamdani is the enemy. And anybody that thinks I'm over-exaggerating, I'm just going to pour it on even more. I'm going to pour it on even more until my posts get worse and worse and worse, until I start talking about medieval shit happening to him. The more you people criticize me for criticizing him, the darker and darker my posts about him are going to get. I might even say some shit that'll land me in jail. And I don't even hate the guy that much. But I hate the defense of him. And I say what I say to piss off the people who defend him. Because it's the people who defend Zohran Mamdani that are the assholes, that are real sons of bitches, that I really would like to just beat the flying fuck out of in a public square. You know, a nice old-style tough man match, bare knuckles, and the person that's still standing is the winner. The person that has less blood gushing out of them and still manages to be conscious would be the winner. And that's what I'd like to do with people who defend Zohran Mamdani. Oddly, I don't want to do anything like that to Zohran Mamdani himself. I may say a few things like that to piss off the people who defend him, but I really don't wish any physical harm on Zohran Mamdani. I just think he's an asshole that doesn't know what he's doing, that he's not professional, and I believe I can make a better mayor than him. In fact, I believe so much that I can work as a public servant better than the people who are actually doing it. I actually put my hat in the ring to run against Jerry Nadler, and then pulled out once I knew that they realigned the districts. Because no way, no how was I going to run against Nicole Maliotakis, who I feel is already doing a fine job as a congresswoman. And now they're talking about gerrymandering all the districts again, which they better not do. I will be pissed if they do that. If they give me a Democrat representative from realigning the districts, then I might have to run for Congress again and go in further. And the beautiful thing about me is that there's no major dirt on me. What do they have on me? What, I'm divorced? If you knew the story, if people really knew the story, most people would take my side in that case. But I really don't want to relive that. But if it had to go there, most people would take my side. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get into detail on that. But yes, there is a lot that was said about me in that situation that was blatant lies. But anything true having to do with that situation, I believe people would take my side. However, I don't even think anything like that would be brought up. I think my industrial rap career, my illustrious industrial rap career would be brought up. And if that's brought up, then, it is what it is. And I would own it and say, yes, I'm glad I made songs like Dark and Angry, where in the hook it says, when I punch you in the face, you'd better thank me, I'm dark and angry. Because it's a freaking song, stupid. But it's neither here nor there. The idea is I believe I would make a better mayor than Zohran Mamdani. I'd definitely make a better congressman than Jerry Nadler. I believe I'd make a better president than Kamala Harris. I would be a more honest president than Hillary Clinton. How effective I would be compared to her, I don't know, because she does have her feet entrenched in Washington. To this very day, she's not going away, that spirit cooking witch. But, yeah. Thank God I was not all over the place with this video. And Zohran Mamdani is a deranged loser that needs to be stopped. And so do the people who defend him. It's not Zohran Mamdani himself that is my mortal foe. It is the people who defend him that are my mortal foe. You are an enemy of mine if you're defending Zohran Mamdani. Like, you could defend certain aspects of him or whatever. I can respect that. But if you're defending him as a whole, then you are an a-hole. And not only can we not talk, we are bitter enemies, and I'll probably be looking for you to fight you and embarrass you. Zohran Mamdani failed the blizzard test. Respect God, watch out for the Illuminati. Like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. Tell all your friends about me. Spell my name right, John A. Krantz, Krantz. Stay strong, keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall. Take care now, all right? Take care.